Hello students, this is Pramod Jadhav from Silver Green English School. Today we are going to learn English for class 10th, poem number 4, How to Tell Wild Animals, written by Carolyn Wells. So first of all, let me give you an introduction about this lesson. This is a humorous poem. Here poet tells us how to identify wild animals. If we see towards the title of this poetry, so it is how to tell wild animals. Tell means here identify. So students, यहाँ पर पोएट हमें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप्स के जो जंगली जानवर हैं, जंगली एनिमल्स हैं, उनके बारे में बता रहे हैं. सो कौन कौन से एनिमल्स हैं यहाँ पर? द लायन, द पैंथर, द बंगाल टाइगर, कैमेलियन, bear, crocodile and hyena. So the poet tells us about the distinctive and unique features of these animals. On the basis of it, you can identify them. If you go to jungle, then how to you identify which animal is this? So the poet wants to tell us here in a humorous way. Let us begin the lesson. I will read the poem for you, will discuss difficult word meanings and explain the poem with poetic devices that has been used in the poetry by the poet. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you'll know it is the Asian lion. So let me discuss first of all difficult words here. Tawny. What is the meaning of tawny? Orange, brown or yellowish brown color. Next word is advance. Advance means here come towards you. Okay. So here poet is giving us first of all in this first stanza poet is introducing especially Asiatic lion. सो पोएट यहाँ पर कहते हैं अगर आप बाय चांस ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ द अर्थ के जो जंगल्स है उसको विजिट करते हो तो यू विल सी अ बिग बीस्ट इज एडवांसिंग टुवर्ड्स यू हु इज वेरी लार्ज एंड हैविंग ऑरेंज ब्राउन और येलोइश ब्राउन कलर स्किन और वो आपके ऊपर दहाड़ता है, जोर जोर से गुर्राता है और आप एकदम से मर जाओ ऐसी फीलिंग आपको आती है. तो समझ लेना दिस इज द एशियन लायन. यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई इट एज द एशियन लायन. So poet is telling us here that if you are going to visit by chance eastern part of the forest, then if you are roaming there and one big animal is advancing towards you who is very large and having orange brown or yellowish brown color skin and which is roaring very dangerously, like if you feel that you are dying, then you have to identify, you have to understand that is the Asiatic lion. Okay. Now next, let's see what is there in stanza 2. Or if sometime when roaming round a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. So, first of all, understand difficult word meanings. Ground means background. Here, noble means royal, which is belonging to royal family. Discern means make out, identify. Okay, so here poet is telling us if sometime, okay, you are roaming in jungle and one noble who is having royal look, who is from the royal family, and wild, it is wild beast who greets you. Greets means who is welcoming you and whose skin is like having yellow background with the black stripes and which is just trying to eat you, trying to attack you, then this is the simple rule that you have to understand. It is the Bengal tiger. Okay. सो बच्चों यहाँ पर पोएट क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं? पोएट कहते हैं कि अगर आप जंगल में घूम रहे हो, फॉरेस्ट में घूम रहे हो और आपके सामने अगर एक नोबल एनिमल आता है जिसका लुक कैसा है? रॉयल फैमिली के जैसा, वो उसका लुक भी बहुत ही रॉयल है और वो आपको ग्रीट करता है, आपका वेलकम करता है. वो वेलकम कैसे करेगा? बाय रोरिंग. एंड जिसकी स्किन जो है उसका कलर कैसा है? येलो बैकग्राउंड और उसके ऊपर ब्लैक स्ट्राइप्स है. सो यू नीड टू सेव योर सेल्फ बिकॉज इट कैन ईट यू. और आपको फिर आपको बचाने की ज़रूरत है, अपने आप को बचाने की ज़रूरत है क्योंकि वो आपको खा भी सकता है. सो दैट्स वाई इट इज़, what is it? It is Royal Bengal tiger. So this is the difference between the Asiatic lion and the Bengal tiger. So when poet was talking about Asian lion, she only says that if the lion roars, then you will be having fearful feelings by his roaring sound, which is like a dying fear. But when she tells about the Bengal tiger, she says that he may eat you, so save yourself. So, to identify the Bengal tiger, there is a simple rule that he may eat you. Okay, let's see third stanza. If strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain. He'll only leap and leap again. So, students, first of all, we will understand word meanings. Strolling. What is the meaning of strolling? Walking casually. Fourth. What is the meaning of fourth? Forward. Hide. What is the meaning of hide? Animal skin. Peppered. What is the meaning of peppered here? Covered with spots. Leapt. Leapt. Leap. Here. Leap Leapt means leapt, taken a jump towards someone. So now understand what is the meaning of, what is the explanation of third stanza. If strolling forth. Now in the third stanza, the poet introduces third beast of the jungle, that is leopard. And poet is telling us, if strolling forth a beast you see, whose hide with spots is peppered. अगर आप जंगल में घूम रहे हो और अगर आप देखते हो कि आपके सामने एक बड़ा सा बिस्ट है, एक जंगली जानवर है, हुज स्किन is having spots like a peppered. Pepper means बड़े बड़े spots, राउंड राउंड spots है उसके स्किन के ऊपर. As soon as he has leapt on you, और and जैसे ही वो आपको देखता है वो आपके ऊपर जंप लगाता है. So you will know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain. एंड उसको देखकर आप अगर डर के मारे या दर्द से आप कर्रा रहे हो या चिल्ला रहे हो तो ही विल ओनली लीप एंड लीप अगेन, वो आपके ऊपर बार बार अटैक करेगा. सो हियर the poet tells us that if you are walking in jungle, you will see an animal whose skin is having round spots, and as soon as the animal looks you, he is jumping towards you, then you can surely say that this is a leopard. If you are making sound due to pain, then it is useless to cry in pain, because this animal will attack on you again and again. So in this stanza, poet is talking about leopard. Okay? And if you are, look here in the last line, crying, then that animal will attack on you again and again. So this is the feature of third wild beast of jungle. Now next stanza, stanza 4. Let's see first of all word meanings. When, now see, cares. Cares means a gentle loving touch. If when you are walking round your yard you meet a creature there who hugs you very hard, be sure it is a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more cares. Now see, वहाँ पर पोएट क्या कहते हैं? पोएट कहते हैं कि अगर आप आपके घर के गार्डन के चारों ओर घूम रहे हो और अचानक से एक बड़ा सा बड़ा सा एक क्रीचर एनिमल वो वहाँ पर आता है और वो आपको गले लगाता है, वो आपको झप्पी देता है, तो समझ लेना it is a bear. But it will give you what type of झप्पी? Very hard. And if you have any doubts, अगर आपके मन में कोई शंका है, डाउट है, then I guess he will give you just one more caress, means a gentle loving touch. So ये जो फोर्थ स्टैंजा में जो बीस्ट है, it is totally different from all three jungle beasts. So here the poet introduces fourth beast, that is bear. This wild beast is having very different personality than previous three beasts. So the poet says that if you are roaming in the garden of your house and if you meet a creature there, he will hug you very tightly, then be sure that it is a bear. If you have doubts about this animal, whether it is bear or something else, then make sure this beast will hug you with love again and again. So, in this way, this is the fourth beast whose features poet is discussing with us. Let's see next stanza number 5. Though to distinguish beasts of prey, or novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena. Thus, hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. Okay, first of all, let me discuss with you word meaning beast of prey. Any animal that hunts other animals for food, that is called beast of prey. Novice, someone new to a job. Okay, nonplus means be puzzled, confused, surprised. So here poet is telling us about two animals. One is crocodile, another one is hyenas. So the poet is introducing here two animals that are crocodile and hyena. Here poet shows difference between these two animals. If you do not know which is hyena or crocodile, if you are novice, novice means new, okay, you are inexperienced, you don't have any idea, okay, in the field of animals, then to identify crocodile, remember that hyenas, okay, are always giving smile, but crocodile is always crying. If you are confused to identify that which animal is beast of prey between crocodile or hyena, then only remember that hyenas always smiling, but crocodile is crying while attacking on the other animal. Okay. Now let discuss next stanza. Stanza number 6. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, 'tis the chameleon you see. So poet is telling here, see, in this stanza about the chameleon, she tells that if you want to identify chameleon, it is like a lizard, because lizard doesn't have ears and no wings. So in the same way, chameleon is also looking like lizard, which is not having any ears. But one particular thing is there, if you are looking in a jungle, if poet is telling us nothing is there, okay, then it means there is a chameleon, because chameleon is having a feature. And what is that feature? To change its color according to the atmosphere. So chameleon means गिरगिट, गिरगिट कभी भी उसका कलर चेंज कर सकता है. So in this way poet is telling about this animal, that is the chameleon girgit, whose feature is that to change the color of his body according to the atmosphere. Okay. Now let us discuss about the literary devices. Now first of all, rhyming scheme. So if you read the poetry, so last verse if you read, chance, east, advance, beast, dine, lion. So now you can see Here chance A, then east B, then again advance C, then again you can see beast, so again B, then dine C, and here again lion C. So what is the rhyming scheme? A B A B C C. So almost all here, all stanza is having the same rhyming scheme. Okay. So next, enjambment. Sentence runs through two or more lines. There is no punctuation used in the sentence. So here you can see after first line there is no punctuation mark. Second line starts without punctuation mark. In the same way, in the third line also. So that's why it is enjambment. Inversion. Next one. Sentence order is changed. Now if you see here, okay, should to you advance here. So in the third line, the sentence order is changed. What will maybe the sentence order? There should be there should be a verb after should, but here the sentence order is changed. So that's why it is inversion. Then assonance. In this device, vowel sound is prominent, which is having repetition. Now here, if you see, so in the first line, O sound is very prominent. You should go. Okay. In this way, vowel sound is repeated in any line, that is called assonance. Now next stanza we will see what is there. In the rhyming scheme, as I discussed you, same rhyming scheme is there. Now enjambment, as we have discussed, sentence runs through two or more lines. There is no punctuation used in the sentence. So here you can see in the line number 5. Okay, this is the example of enjambment. Sixth line is continued without having any punctuation mark. Again here inversion is there. So again there is a change in the sentence order. Okay, and after that most prominent is alliteration. Now here you can see alliteration. For example, in this line, roaming round. Okay, first line you can see here r sound is repeated at the beginning of consecutive words. So what is the meaning of alliteration? The repetitive use of consonant sound at the start of two or more consecutive words in close relations. So here the example of alliteration. Next one is assonance. Now here also you can see in the first line again 4 times O sound is repeated, O vowel is repeated, O some roaming and round. Okay, in the same way in the third line also on ground. Okay, yellow, again O sound is repeated, O vowel is repeated. So vowel is having prominence. Last one in this stanza is allusion. Whenever the poet uses famous personality or place, that is allusion. For example, in this stanza poet is giving the reference of the Bengal tiger. Okay. Let's see in the next stanza what is poet is talking about. So here also literary devices poet has used as rhyming scheme: view, then you can see here view A, okay, peppered B, again U A, leopard, again you can see B, pen, again C C, A B A B C C. Next is poetic license. So in this stanza you can see what is the poetic license. Poet changes spelling in poetry, make it musical, rhythmical, okay. So, and make it interesting by having the rhythm. So here you can see especially words lap. So these are the LEAP. The proper spelling is what? LEAP. But here poet is using lap. In the same way, lift here. So poet is using the proper spelling is LEAPT, but poet is using here the different spelling. So that's why it is poetic license. Alliteration. Now poet is also using here alliteration. If you read the poetry, so here examples you can get he has. In the third line you can see he has. What is the alliteration? As we understood in the last stanza, the repetitive use of consonant sound at the start of two or more consecutive words in a close relation. Okay. Next, assonance is here. So again vowel is prominent. Okay. So you can see here vowel I is very important. Okay. In the same way, you can find out different type of assonance here. Then there is repetition. So repetition means whenever the poet uses the word repeatedly, then it is called repetition for creating musical sense. So here word lap is repeated. Okay. Now we will see next stanza. If when you are walking around your yard, now here you can see yard, there, hard, bare, guess, caress. So here again rhyming scheme is B, A, B, C. Okay. In the same way, second prominent device is enjambment. So again you can see here first line, after first line there is no punctuation. Okay. And again you can see fifth line, in the fifth line also there is no punctuation. So that's why you can see here that is enjambment. Okay. Then alliteration. Again here alliteration is there. So if you see, if you read the poetry, then in the fourth line you can see here be sure it is a bear. So b sound is repeated here. So that's why it is alliteration. Again you can see the many examples of assonance. Okay. In the first line o, you, roaming, your. So o sound is very prominent. O vowel is very prominent here. In the same way, in the last line also you can see you, one, more. O sound is, O vowel is very important. So that's why it is assonance. Again repetition is there. Word repeated, very. Okay. So that's why it is called repetition. Now let's see next stanza. Though to distinguish beast of prey, a novice might nonplus the crocodile you always may. So now you can see here pray may. Okay. So pray may is rhyming, nonplus thus is rhyming, smiles and crocodiles again rhyming. So A B C. Again enjambment is there. First line you can see after first line no punctuation, third line no punctuation, so it is enjambment. Alliteration you can again find the repetitive use of consonant sound at the start or of two or more consecutive words in a close relation. You can see here. So what is here? Novice nonplus alliteration. No sound is repeated. Okay. Now next stanza. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, tis the chameleon you see. Here also rhyming scheme A B C. Okay. You can see here small all A, thing wing B. So A B A B and a tree C. So here E E, so C C, so A B C C. Next is again alliteration is there. So you can see here alliteration in this stanza. Alliteration is being used by the poet. Okay. So next one is consonants. So consonant is, it is repetition of consonant sound. Okay. So in this stanza also you can see there is repetition of consonant sound. Okay. So tis and the, you can see in the last line two are used. Okay. So tis, the. Okay. So here you can see consonant is used repeatedly. So that's why it is called consonants. So thank you students for